Okay, so let's actually dig into exactly how you could actually start turning your reselling business into some real money. Now, why am I doing this video in my bed with some phones that I just got? Well, actually, I wanted to try a different approach, right? When I look online, I see a bunch of people and gurus telling you how to flip phones, how to start clothing brands, how to resell, how to do drop shipping, how to do Amazon FBA, and they're all in a nice professional environment, right? And I think that being in a professional environment is very, very important. But I also think not selling dreams and also being authentic, right, is way more important. So in this video, what you're gonna understand and what I'm going to break down is the mistakes that I've made phone flipping, the action plan that I had to put in place to actually get the results, and then also the destination. All right, now, when it comes to phone flipping, you don't need ads. I think that there are a lot of people that believe you need Facebook ads to make money because of the propaganda that they were pushed to believe, right? I've myself seen people on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube talking about how they have these phone flipping academies that will teach you or even build these ads for you. And they actually got this structure from drop shipping because drop shippers, they do the same thing, right? I wanted to always figure out ways to make money without having to spend money. And when I mean spend money, I'm not talking about spending it on an asset, but actually spending it to promote, spending it to market. I feel like if I'm not there business-wise to spend the money to market my business, I should be able to do extra work to organically be able to reach people that are going to be consumers. And you can do that with phone flipping. So I want to get the mistakes out of the way, okay? Now, first of all, and I have on my notepad some of the mistakes, I wanted to get the newest phone possible, right? And, this really stemmed from me watching people that I know, or even people that I didn't, get these newer devices from stores and sell them to buyers and wholesale buyers and regular individuals like me and you that may have the capital that I don't. So it's easy, and I think that in my time, because I started phone flipping 10 years ago, okay? Back in the day, when I was watching a Sprint store owner that I knew buy newer devices in his store, and then saw him actually handing them off to someone for literally cash in hand, I felt like I needed to do that. Problem is he had way more capital than me. I didn't have the capital that he had. And that's where I think I felt, I can't do this, or I gotta wait, or all right, let me stack my money. No, I should have just started as soon as I dedicated my time to researching, but instead I wanted to get those. At that time, I think it was the iPhone 8 that was the newest phone, the 8 Plus and all of that, right? But again, guys, it's not about the new phone. It's really about the budget, and we'll get into it in a little bit, right? Now, the second mistake that I made was I wanted to make this a full-time income, and phone flipping for me was something that saved me. If you don't know my story, if I give you a quick rundown, basically I had to move from New Jersey to Philadelphia. My mom told me if I didn't go to college, I had to get out her crib. Now, when I got out of her house, I went to my grandmother's house, but I needed a job. I needed some type of money to consistently come in. And phone flipping was a source of income from lessons I learned from different connections that I ended up running into, okay? And phone flipping was something that I never really completely loved, but I saw the potential. I used to sell phones, and I could tell you the whole spiel. I used to say $55 unlimited talk, text, and data, and all people would do is come to me. I would get them Sprint service, and they would buy phones from me. I would get to keep the phone money and then the service money, because you used to have to pay for your service up front. I would go ahead and give it to the Sprint store owner that I was working with, right? And I never worked for him because he didn't want to hire me. Okay, it's a whole big story, but he didn't want to hire me. I was just like a person he was paying under the table. And I wanted to make this a full-time income. And I thought that if I could source phones on my own and I resell them to people, I'll be able to supplement a 9-to-5. The problem was it took a lot of money to get phones that everyone wanted. And also it took a lot of time at times for the phones to sell themselves. So I would go weeks without making money, or weeks without having a a really financial changing and altering sale, right? Getting $200 for an iPhone 5C at that time was good, but I only made like $50 or $40. I could probably get 2 days of food with that, right? Making it full time would have had to been me making 800 plus a day, or at least 1,500 a week. And that's because I had a car, I had a rent, I had other things that I had to, work towards. So again, trying to go full time too fast will hurt you, and it will also help you become burnt out faster. And I know you understand what I'm saying, because I'm sure you want to phone flip if you clicked on this video and you want this to be a full-time income, but don't start that way. Don't start thinking, okay, this is going to be something that I'll be able to rely on, because sometimes when we come and we tackle these businesses or ventures in that mindset, we try to force instead of trying to build, trying to create quotas and looking at the metrics and letting the metrics tell us if this will work for us, right? The next one is I didn't want to spend all of my money. Now, till this day, I still get butterflies in my stomach when I am investing in phones. Now, if I'm buying 5 iPhone 17 Pro Maxes, or if I'm buying 10 iPhone 16 Pro Maxes, these phones still till this day give me butterflies, right? No matter how many phones I buy, I'm still feeling internally, I hope I can get my money back, right? Like, oh man, I know I checked this about 5 times, but I hope this isn't locked. Oh man, yeah, this is an excellent, pristine phone, but I hope that this phone doesn't go blacklisted. Like, I would have these thoughts in my head, and I just want to let you know that never goes away. But, spending that money is important because, 1, you learn a lesson, but 2, you have to spend money to make money phone flipping, okay? And then number 4, did not keep track of my profits or expenses. And that's something I honestly know for a fact held me back. And what do I mean by that? Well, if I just brought this phone for $850 and I have a buyer that's gonna buy it for, let's just say $930, I need to know, okay, I potentially can make an $80 profit, great, but I spent $850 or $800 on this device, plus I had to drive, plus I have to pay this person. Like, I gotta know exactly what my expenses are, because some of that profit has to go back into my investment bucket. And that's actually where my 5th mistake was, is not adding money into my investment. Now, I call this a change fund, and this is just my own verbiage, which is a place I keep cash for phones that I wanna flip. I do not use Cash App or PayPal, because see, I've had transactions where I've had to pay a bunch of money, $6,000, $5,000, and sometimes even $1,000 or $800 for a group of phones, and I reach my limit. I can't take no more money out the ATM, the banks are closed, and then I lose out on transactions and sales. So what I like to say, right, and what I'll tell you is I like to keep cash on hand, and I always like to know exactly what my change fund is. Now, a change fund, think about it like how cashiers have their tills in their drawers at the register. Every time they leave to go home, they're taking that till and they're putting it in the back room. Well, it's the same thing when it comes to phone flipping. I'm taking out the money that I know for a fact I'm gonna flip today, but I'm also gonna make sure by the end of the day that that money is still back in that place. It's a good way to consistently keep track of your finances without having any lapse or overspending or dipping into personal funds. But the problem I was having was I wasn't adding money into it. So I recommend every phone flipper starts with like $300, right? So you got a $300 change fund, but let's say I just made $80 buying this phone. How much money am I going to put back in, right? Now, I already spent some bread on this phone. Now, let me put at least $25 back into my change fund. And see, what a lot of phone flippers sleep on is when you do this, you're starting to build your buying power. If you have a job, it's a blessing, right? Having a job as a phone flipper would have skyrocketed me, right? Because I wouldn't be as scared to make an investment as I was and still am, because I know I have a check coming. But also it's like a safety net. But having that job, you're now able to still pay your rent, pay your bills, buy the meticulous things that you may like, but you're still able to invest and keep that change fund moving and working for you. And those are like the mistakes that really cost me. And, I wouldn't be, I guess, really informative if I didn't speak on the action plans that I actually took to not only fix these mistakes and avoid others, but also to just actually start making this work. So no, you don't need ads, but you do need a budget. I recommend everybody starts with at least $300, right? And I've said that because $300, you can buy, even today, a 14, you can even buy a 15, you can buy a 14 Pro, 15 Pro, you can buy 13s, you can buy 11s, you can buy phones, right? I think that the market is so crowded that all phones are really close to each other in price points. So right now is the perfect time to negotiate, because negotiating for an iPhone 15 that's priced the same price as an iPhone 16, you're always going to win. And of course, the market speaks for itself. People will always try to price gouge, but they all come back to reality when they realize nobody's buying it and you will win. Finding a platform. Now, I like OfferUp over Facebook, but that's just in my area. You may like Facebook more than OfferUp. Now, the two platforms, this is what I consistently think. And honestly, this is what I've evaluated, not only from my experiences, but my students as well. So Facebook is always going to be a platform that has an older audience, people that are trying to sell phones but don't need to. Those people that see a phone sitting in their desk and they're like, oh, let me list it on Facebook to see if I can make some money. But then you have OfferUp, where it seems to be more of a hustle-oriented platform where people are actually listing products to actually sell. And then most of them have deadlines, and they're holding themselves accountable to pushing these phones out at a certain time point or time frame, And that's why I like OfferUp. It's more fast-paced. I usually always am talking with people that have the same intention, which is to meet up. Facebook, there's a lot of people sometimes, oh, well, just ship it to me, or I'll ship you this phone. I don't want to ship. I want to meet you face to face. Never ship a phone. Never receive a ship phone, right? Now, the next thing after you figure out the platform you want to start talking. Now, this is the part where I think a lot of people are scared, because people overthink this process, and some people don't even know how to negotiate. Now, me, I do know how to negotiate. I teach people the 4 factors of impulse. I teach people exactly how to utilize a bunch of different techniques like Ford's, family, occupation, relation, and dream. These are ways to have conversations with people to actually close sales. I teach people how to assume the sale. And by the way, I do all of this, and I am teaching everyone that does sign up for my February 5th webinar. It is a live webinar where I'm answering questions and also trying to be more personal when it comes to your approaches and what your objections or your hurdles are. And I'll be having this webinar on February 5th. The link is below. Every single person that joins is going to get a free checklist and, of course, a network with me. That means that you're going to be able to contact me even after the webinar. I don't do webinars to just get your money. I do webinars to create relationships. I feel like that's how we grow, myself and included. Like I believe that, I'm still growing business-wise and also in every single aspect, right? So you want to join this webinar because I'm a real phone flipper, a real businessman, and I can be able to help you not only just with a video here or there, but also giving you advice. I give a bunch of people free advice. This is why I'm here. I'm not just here to make money. Now, I am here to make money, but I'm not just here to do that. I'm here to actually curate relationships, because I never know, or you never know, where the relationship can go. So click the link below. It's $17 to join the webinar. I'll be teaching you everything hands-on, how to start flipping phones and start making your first phone sale within 7 days, but also connecting you with buyers and more. So definitely check the link below. But again, it's just more so about being able to build but also close. And I think a lot of people are scared to insert themselves in conversations where they may be rejected. Rejection, especially with phone flipping, is something you cannot run from. It's going to happen, but you got to be willing to have somebody say, no, I don't want to sell it to you. Walk away and watch them come back. And then the next thing is make quotas, right? So once you start talking to people and you start getting rejected and you start feeling some type of way, right? You start knowing in your audience and your area how many people have quality products that are priced realistically versus how many people are just really sticklers and don't really want to work and really want to close deals. But with this being said, you'll now know, okay, me making 10 offers a day seems to be beneficial because I'm able to talk to a bunch of people. They end up hitting me back. Me making 5 offers seems to be just too small because nobody's actually reaching back out to me. The way that I'm approaching, the way that I'm looking, the way that I am addressing people, these all are not working. So let me try another way. So I'm going to go ahead and make 20 offers a day. Like, you have to hold yourself accountable to some type of number on how many offers you're going to be making on these platforms. This is the only way that you're actually going to be able to close deals and also learn how to network. Now, networking doesn't just have to be with me and you. It could be with the people that are selling phones, as a lot of people sell phones over and over every single week, month. And also, this is something some people do for a job, just to let you know. All right. Now, the last thing that I do and did when I first started was I sold to people over buyers. Now, this is really contradicting to some people because they know how I operate, which I sell to wholesale buyers now, of course. But when you're first starting out and you're working on a tight budget, you know, the thing would be, let me just sell to a buyer because it's safe. Well, you can sell to a buyer, but if you want to make more profit, understand phones always sell higher when you're selling to a consumer, somebody that is trying to use the device for personal use, or maybe trying to use that device so that they can give it as a gift, versus a buyer that is just trying to buy that phone to resell because they can't actually give you the appropriate market value because they still got to make money, right? So if an iPhone 17 Pro Max is being sold in Trinidad for $1,500, the buyer probably will say, hey, I'll buy that phone from you for $950. Right? And then now they're going to get that phone and then they're going to make way more money than you, even though they do have to split that money up, obviously, but they're going to make more money. Vice versa, you go ahead and instead of selling to a buyer, you get probably not 1,500, probably not even 13, but you get probably 12. You probably get 11, right? But these are all things you have to be willing to be patient, wait for, and also understand that it takes time for you to understand what price points or what type of consumers are in your area. And that's the last thing I'll say is every single area, every state has different type of buyers, sellers in this phone industry. And that's why, like, the webinar, prime example, is a really good place to really hone in on your skills with phone flipping, because phone flipping is something that changes depending on a person, place, and also the goal, right? Now, let's really wrap it up and say this, right? Phone flipping is really good, but if you're bringing phones like this or phones like this and phones like this and phones like this home every single day, you may feel like you're doing great. But phone flipping does not make you money. Phone flipping helps you flip it, and yes, it creates an illusion that you're making money. Oh my God, I got cracked glass just going everywhere. But what you want to do is you want to turn this into a business. And I teach you, especially my hustlers that subscribe, so make sure you subscribe, how to actually turn this into a real business, a buyback business, a refurbishing business. There's a bunch of different businesses you can transfer phone flipping into. You just got to know exactly how to do it. So guys, make sure you guys continue to subscribe. Of course, like my videos, join that webinar. I'm going to be there at 9 p.m. February 5th to work with you guys so we can work on getting your phone flipping business in a really successful position, have it working like a machine, and most importantly, having you make your money work for you. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video.